Welcome back to BackRoomConvos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Daddy Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo, a place where we celebrate more episodes than yay. That's another line that we just added now. Just let me know what you think about that one. So yeah, I do know, Woodsy, it's been a minute since we recorded one of these episode 97. So we've been on the road to 100 episodes, and I did say to you, which I do have a surprise for you on the 100th episode, So yeah, on today's episode, we have a lot to unpack. We have a lot to touch on. I think firstly, we are going to talk about the Putin and the vault situation that's going on there. We're going to talk about Penny Dooley. We're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar's base on Metro's album and Future's album, collaborative album. We're going to talk about that as well. We are going to talk about the ANC Shandies and the dance, that guy, that Blessed. Yeah, Blessed, the Pastor 99 guy. He looks like Pastor, but he's not Pastor, So we'll talk about that. Even, I saw Dili was even trending. I don't know if he's still trending though, but I saw he was trending today. So yeah, the song of the day is by Fall Tree. The name of the song is Say Yes, from the album called Fall Tick. It's called Fall Tick. It was released in 2002. In 2002, the song is 4 minutes 28 seconds long and currently sits north of 56 million in Spotify alone. Pretty good numbers. I saw an episode by Fall Tree. She was on the podcast with Tank, and Tank was playing keys and she was singing, and he was like, sets one of like the I don't know what's the word to use for this, but he was saying, Woodsy, when people are listening to my music, they have to hear that I'm making love to the song. Or like that's not the word she used, but I'm just paraphrasing. She said they must hear, Woodsy, I'm making love to the song. So they must hear. I think the more better word to use is they must hear the soul within the music that I'm making, So yeah, man, do let me know what you think about that song. I think it's a pretty dope song, I think for people who are in relationships, I think this song, man, it's one of those that you have to bump, And after this, I saw Pretty Wings by Maxwell as well. Like, the playlist is crazy after the song. So like, if you do listen to this, what are some of the songs that you listen after even I think one of the conversations that we need to have, it's pillow talk. Maybe we say pillow talk. Pillow talk, maybe, pillow talk in the and maybe have that as a segment in the podcast and say, well, pillow talk, this is the music that you play. How did you lose your virginity? The music. I think that would be pretty dope, like a pretty dope segment, where we get to unpack. Okay, firstly, which song did you lose your virginity to? You know what I mean? Which song? And secondly, I think if we say it's this song by this guy, this was the energy and how the words and didn't fulfill the fantasy that you always had in your head. I think that would be a pretty good segment, you know what I mean? But do let me know in the comment section what you think about that. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M, Daddy Report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. It's a Wednesday morning, beautiful morning. And before we do anything else, I think it's proper that we start on to talk about the Vladimir Putin Chinese. So people who don't know who Vladimir Putin is a Russian president, So I'm going to read something that was, written. I'm taking this from Twitter, but from the guy called Scovia. Scovia is the person, is the lady? Oh God, I don't know. I just see a profile picture of a lady. So I assume this is a lady. Scovia is the name of the person that we are reading the article from. So the article reads as follows. Vladimir Putin just opened up a historical vault with a true biblical characters, and guess what? All of them are black. Yes, including your Jesus. I just don't like the part where she said including your Jesus. I'm so sorry if I'm also misgendering you. I'm so sorry for that. I know people in the internet are so sensitive. If I'm misgendering you, I do apologize for that. So where she says, yes, including you, Jesus, I'm like, okay, are you atheist? So, okay, but we'll just pause that. And this is what she also says. He says, they not only colonized you, they also colonized the information. They colonized our ideas of God. That's what he said. Yeah, he said he's wearing glasses, so assume this is him, or this is like one of the videos he took from the internet. There's like, let me just go on to the comment section and get what people are saying about this voting and the biblical items that they got from the votes. And like one of the questions I think people were really asking on the internet is that, why is Putin really taking this information now, where he could have just done this 10 years or 5 years ago, but why is he what's the motive behind him releasing this? So, and I'm also curious to find that out and to see, and I also like doubt Uguti here also replied to this, and I think you remember the interview he did with Tucker Carlson, the interview that Putin did with Tucker Carlson, and they had, I think, 2 hours of a sit down, and Putin was saying a lot of things. I didn't watch that. I only got the snippet part of it, So I think had this came out before that interview, I think it would have been like pretty great to have Putin answer some of these questions that we have. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, man, I'm just going to read some of like the comments that I think that are very interesting coming from you guys, So like, this is the first comment in the Bible, Acts 13 chapter 1. Is it chapter 13 verse 1? Says Simon's nickname was Nigel, which means black. Simon was also Yeshua. How do you call that name? The so-called Jesus brother. If Simon and Joshua had the same parents and Simon was black, it logically follows up that Jesus was black, or is black, depending on how you want to say that and where you come from, the background. Because some people think Jesus is with us every day, and like people think Jesus is no longer with us on the physical, but that's why I said it depends on how you look at it. So interesting points, right? I didn't read that. I think I might just read that Bible verse, Acts chapter 13 verse 1. I'm going to read that. Some people are saying this is fake news. I haven't heard anything from Putin. This is just something that I got from the internet, and it's all over social media. I saw the cover arts. Is it the cover arts? No, the artwork from like that back there in Joshua, Jesus, as they say in that. I don't know who's behind this, So I'm going to read the second comment that reads as follows. This is just like the relative who knew some information about whose people was talking about you to them, and they waited until they get mad at them to tell them what you want. Yeah, what you want they said about you. Like, I don't know, but I'll just translate this. It's like, what he's trying to say here is that it's some people who know some information about you, but they don't confront you in that very moment. They wait until they get angry, and when they get angry, the next time they just, unleash or like just release everything about you and say, when you did this, when I did, they just leave it to compound. Like, you make this mistake, they leave it to compound. You make the second, the third, the fourth, and as soon as they hit like Bashapa top, or like Bashapa top, and whenever they get mad, like extremely mad, they just start unpacking all those things they've been holding for the longest time. I think that's what he's trying to say. And this is a lady or a dude by the name of DHA Faro. Do correct me if I'm mistaken, Faro, if you're listening to this. So yeah, man. Second comment, I think I tried to translate that, try to be neutral, and someone was saying, for all was open, this has already been community noted. So like, people are just dismissing this. None of them have black features, just darker skin. I don't know if these are white people or no, they didn't. I don't know if it's white people, because like these accounts, like what happened, Elon? Like what happened with the situation of like having all these fake accounts banned and like all these bots commenting? The Orthodox Church already has declined or denied that these are black paintings. Okay, like what's going on? It seems like, you know, if people are denying and agreeing, it seems like this might be true, you know. I don't know. These are said dreadlocks. They knew that and had the truth to push white supremacy. Okay, there's just a lot of politics behind this as well, so like I don't want to indulge in that. So yeah, so the vault is literally fake. Do you understand why Putin would display set the vault now? I'm like, what's going on? I wondered why those ancient structures in Egypt noses were broken. This is like you might Satoshi, okay, the Bitcoin, okay, Satoshi. I see that Satoshi. We had a Bitcoin. That's why I was like, oh, Satoshi. Okay, so that might be a point. The Egyptian pyramids, the nose is cut. You know, like the black people's noses and white people have long noses. Like that must be said. White people have long noses. So if that is cut, the nose are cut, is there a message behind? Yeah, like do let me know in the comment section. But that I thought it's interesting to talk about, man. I think that was very interesting to talk about. And to have someone who's saying, but no wonder the Egyptian nose or the pyramid structures in Egypt, they had noses that are broken. Was that to say Uguti? Was that to say Uguti? These structures are black people or representative of black people? And there's still a lot of complexities behind those Egyptian structures. I'm not saying some are true or some are not, or like I'm just reading out everything. I'm just, you know, reading out everything. I want you to listen to me at this point and think, the support is taking side. I'm not taking any sides. So this is from Savages on Twitter. He says, what the F, WTF has nothing to do with black Hebrews, Israelites. Laughing out loud. WTF, where, who, how, when a picture doesn't say that, just like a picture of white blonde hair, blue eyes English. Jesus doesn't it's geography and timing, but no yeah, I know this one is English, is not the one. He's all over the place with the English, but we forgive you, my brother. So I think there's at point you can also buy these verification badges now. I thought this was like something that's legit, but let's just read it as a last comment. For the segment, Haram releases hours of footage of murder and rape, and it'll show you an investigation paper was released, confirmed allegations of rapes and many barbarities. Barbarities, is that even a word? Okay, so I think it's telling us a story. Let me just read the entire thing. I'm reading the entire thing. Barbarities, lefties. I don't see no proof of anything here. Try harder. Putin unveils a random box with a black Jesus in it. Lefties, OMG, undeniable proof Jesus was black. You know, I think this one is denied. It's in denial. I can tell. But you're not pushing any agendas here. But you know, should I do one last comment? No, I think we must conclude on this because we don't really have actual evidence as to say these pictures are valid or have them tested. We are just taking hearsays, understand? And nobody, I think, in the Russian structures, you know, ministers have said anything about this. We've all seen all these paintings, but we have no idea. And people are saying it's Putin. If it's Putin, did you see him? You know, so did you see him? So yeah, man, it's the first 15 minutes of the show. Do let me know what you think about the first 15 minutes. Do you love the new phrase that we added on the beginning of the intro of the video or the podcast or the recording, whatever you may call it, you know what I mean? So yeah, we are going on to a break. Do let me know what you think about this episode. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. If you are a fan of pods, stay tuned because you might like what we cooking. This is a place where we cook more. This is where we cook more, or we celebrate more episodes than Kanye's episodes. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I messed it up. But try to clean it up when you come back after the break. Cheers. Welcome back to BackRoomConvos. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M report, aka Shoot Your Shot, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. I added a tag. This is the tag. A place where we celebrate more episodes than Kanye. Do let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I'm your host at the most, Lesego M report. Please do not forget to follow, like, and subscribe to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. Before we went over to the break, we were talking about the historical vote that Putin allegedly opened. So we don't have any confirmation from like the Russian structures, formal structures, political structures, to say that this is true. I haven't seen any. If you have, do comment in the comment section and give us the source, maybe the link, so we can, fact check all that. But we've seen a lot of the people who are like pushing the agenda that Jesus is black. Maybe Putin is behind it, or it's just me a campaigner. I don't know what smear campaigners. I just use that word. But yeah, it sounds right. It sounds fitting to use the word. But yeah, so yeah, man. I think now, moving right along, I think I'm going to touch on a lot of things on like a very short time. We do have a very limited time. We have 15 minutes now. It's like 14 minutes remaining now. I wanted us to talk about a few minutes about P. Diddy, and I see he's still trending. I did mention that he's trending when we were speaking on the first segment of the podcast. I did say P. Diddy is trending, and the reason he's trending is because people are saying his place. I didn't think that was his place, actual place, where it got raided yesterday or day before. I'm not sure. I saw the videos going through, like going in and out of the internet. Gucci Diddy's places getting raided. People think Gucci there might be, trafficking that's going on basically on Diddy's property. So I think that had to do with that. So this is the article that I want to read out to you. This is by George IQ Watson. So, TikTok for real. New York City Mayor Eric Adams gave the P. Diddy a key to the city in September 2023. Adam Ahmed and fundraiser were able to raid by FBI recently. Is it me or my English? Adams Aid and fundraiser were able to raid were also raided by the FBI. Adams Aid and fundraiser were also raided by FBI recently. So Diddy and the mayor were raided, if that's what they're saying. I think that's what they're saying. So I think he also said Jay-Z and TD are the next people that are going to get the raid. Diddy's been facing it a lot lately. So yeah, let me just read some of the comments. I'm over the comment section and get to see or hear what you guys are saying about this. And like, some people are just Diddy haters. They don't have actual evidence to say, Diddy did that, or we just, at this point it's just hearsay and like the court appearances that Diddy has been doing for I think we've touched on it. I won't speak on it, because some of the facts I have forgotten for sure. So, he went through that, and a lot more people are coming out. I saw someone was mentioning Chris Brown to say Chris Brown knows Diddy because, Chris was with Aiden in his live stream when he's like, yo, like, do you get down with 2 and 2? Or he's like, that's not my type of party. And people were like, yeah, Chris was exposed to Diddy's party. That's why he's like, no, I'm cool with that. Because I was reading the comment section, right? So that's that. So like, I'm about to read some of the comments that you guys, put out on Twitter. So Raphael is the first guy that I'm going to read a comment from. So he says, support from the arts and culture scene in New York City is truly commendable. Great to see influential figures like P. Diddy being recognized for their contributions. Interesting. I like that one. He doesn't like drama. He doesn't know a lot of things that are going on. And he's like, yo, like from the department or from the state, this is a good thing to do to the artists or, celebrities that are doing good for the city. It's a pretty good thing to do, and I also agree with him. If you don't, please do let me know in the comment section why you beg to differ. So this is the second comment. I think every time you should also consider whether you can play it quickly or confidentially. And quickly and confidentially, that's what I meant to say. So, somebody posted a picture of 50 Cent. He posted a video of Jay-Z. He says, here is Jay-Z's latest report seen raving to Puff Daddy. Okay, and 50 Cent, by the way, is the biggest troll. Like, if you don't know, 50 Cent is the biggest troll. So Keisha settles lawsuit with Dr. Luke. Of course, I don't give a hell what is going on. Okay, Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein supported Israel. Does it mean anything? No, yeah, part of the society, like his secret society. I know. I think that's where that was going. It's not me. I think that's where that person was going with the tweet. So tweet or tweet, do let me know. So he thinks what he's doing is giving love. My God, how some people fool themselves. This is parading his ego on steroids, but I'm sure that New Yorkers, when they get a glimpse of him, become filled with love. He said with the, what you call this, inverted commas, love, because he also calls himself love. So I think that's where he was going with that. So yeah, moving right along. Kendrick Lamar. I want to also talk about Kendrick. He was a part of this fall in Metro and Future's album that was released last week Friday, and they did announce Thursday night that they were releasing something, you know what I'm saying? So he dissed what you call this, he dissed J. Cole, he dissed Drake as well. And I love Kendrick for this because he's keeping the competitiveness alive in the game. That's what you need. Even in the Control verse that came out years back with on Big Sean's song, it did bad for Big Sean, but it was good for the culture, like it didn't put Big Sean in the good place. But I commend him for doing that, for being, courageous enough to say, like, hell with this, I'll put out my best work in this. It's just unfortunate that the spotlight was shining too much on Kendrick and what he was saying regarding or dissing people. I know, Wale was being dissed, Big Crit was being dissed, Drake, J. Cole were also the people who were being dissed in that album, the album, the verse that they did in the song Yaga Picture, and I forgot. I just mentioned it now. I just forgot it. So yes, Kendrick came out again, this Drake, this J. Cole is like, I'm the only big artist. It's not the three of us. It's only big me, He was throwing shots too much at Drake. Not so much to J. Cole, but too much to Drake. And Drake also had something to say. I think he was performing somewhere at one of his show in Sunrise. What you call this? Florida. Is it Florida? FLA, Florida. Let me know in the comment section. This is Drake. He said, I quote, "No profanity. I don't condone profanity, but this is why I say I quote." So this is coming from Drake. "I got my fucking head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 fucking toes down. Tessie, Tessie Kelly replied, Drake seems to address Kendrick Lamar, counting the longest standing feud. Okay, so Drake also responds by saying, there's no nigga on this earth that could ever fuck with me in my life. So, Kelly made a comment as well. And Kelly also, these are like comments from Kelly. I don't know who's this Kelly person, but I think Kendrick was also addressing the song First Person Shooter, where J. Cole tried to claim that rapper are the best in the game, but the beef is over a decade old. Back in 2013, Kendrick had this the control verse. Obviously, the control verse is supposed to be a part of it, from Big Sean's album. So yeah, back then, Drake told Billboard, I just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. Good thing I know good and well that Kendrick isn't murdering me at any platform. So when that day presents itself, I guess we can revisit this topic. Well, it looks like we've come full circle, Drake. There's no nigga on this planet that could ever fuck with me in my life. I think, he's being defensive. And like, even if I do like Kendrick, I do like Drake, I do like Cole, and the order that I would put them is Kendrick first. I'm still indecisive whether it's J. Cole or Drake first, because Drake is also lethal. If you listen to the Duppy freestyle, you'd understand what I'm talking about, because he was very lethal in that, So I'd go Drake, I'd go Kendrick, I'd go Kendrick, I'd go Drake. I think Drake, let's say Drake. I'd go Drake, then Kendrick, and then J. Cole. Even J. Cole doesn't mind being that place. He did say it himself in one of the shows that they had, and a lot that happened. And touched on that. So I think I'm ready to pass on this, because you already have like 4 minutes remaining. So yeah, the last one that I had to talk, it's the betrayal on the internet. People were saying, you are voting for MK. Kudos to MK, Jacob Zuma. So he's doing well. The numbers are up. The strategy is working for sure. But again, I'm like, I think ANC is also gaining numbers now because of the video that came out of the Buster 99 looking alive, the dude. He released the video, he was dancing, he was like, come do it, doing a blizzard dance. And a lot of people came out dancing with NC t-shirts and, NC match basically. And they were like, it got to a point where like a lot of people started making videos, and they were like, okay, guys, we understand it's just a dance challenge, but let's not lose focus. We are voting ANC out, right? I was also fine with it, but I think when I was preparing to release or record this episode, I was like, okay, let me just go on to like Instagram. I was in Instagram and I was just scrolling through Instagram. The girl that they were talking about, the leather gang and the crop top t-shirt, he's got the full match, the crop top, the leather jacket, and I'm like, let's vote the ANC. La? People are even buying crop tops and leather jackets. What do you buy a leather jacket and a crop top just to do it dance challenge? I'm like, you guys are not honest. They are not honest. And at least, but I agree. I think a lot of the people that listen to the podcast, they actually know what you mean. I did say my stance was like, I'm not voting. I've never voted, and I don't like the pressure, because at this point, if MK does well, I might consider voting in the next elections, right? To vote them in, to say, I give you the stamp of approval. You guys are doing something for sure for this country. But at this point, I haven't seen a party that identifies, or the party that identifies with the things that I need to have changed in the political or the geopolitical state of our country. I haven't seen or heard of any party. I haven't read also a lot of manifestos, so it's a bit unfair, because I also think I'm a pretty busy person. So sometimes it takes away the fact that Butukuba Peace, it doesn't give me the opportunity to explore some of these manifestos, such as the manifesto EFF, which is, I think, shout out to Zetu. Zetu was the one person who was saying with the manifesto EFF, it's long. I think it had something to do with land, with expropriation of land without compensation. They had something to do with that. They were breaking it down. Every problem that we have in this country, they broke it down. They saw the problem, they identified the problem, and came with the solution. So their manifesto was actually addressing the problem and redressing and coming up with the solutions. I don't know if that is making any sense, but yeah, pretty interesting, right? So EFF, I think if I was to vote at this point, I would go either Mkhonto Wesizwe or EFF, between the two. I'm not sure, but let's see how it goes. And I see like Mkhonto Wesizwe is leading, I don't know how they calculate the numbers of like people who are changing parties. There's a word they used for it. I forgot what the word is. So yeah, do let me know what you think about this episode. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, report, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Listen, if you are a fan of ports, stay tuned and rate this show. Please do not forget to follow, like, and comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. We've reached the end of today's episode. Let's meet tomorrow again on another exciting episode of BackRoomConvos with Lesego M. Cheers. Oh, whoa! Before we leave, hey, I wanted to think of not recording episodes every day. I forgot something. I'm overflowing here thinking what I'm done. And there's a story behind this. But I'll share the story behind. The book of the day, that's what I forgot. The book of the day is I Fell in Love with the Blind Man, The Light of Love by Nosipho Zoni. And I saw, before I read the book, I was telling someone, she was, she gave me this book as a recommendation to say, like, boy, this is a book, read it. I think it's an exciting book, you'd love it. I haven't read it. I told her that I'll think about it. It's currently ranking 4.8 out of 5, which is a good review. It's a romance genre. It's more for ladies, like ladies and fetishizing. This is for them. It was released last year, the 1st of December 2023. That's what I forgot. The book is 698 pages long. Do go out and read it and do let me know in the comment section what you think about the book. And if you have read it, do let us know again what you think about the book. I'm your host with the most, Lesego M, report, aka Future Short, and maybe you might get a chance to call me Daddy like Cairo. Please do not forget to follow, like, and comment to get a notification for each and every time we drop a new episode. Cheers.